What's going on, guys? How are you doing? Back with you, and today we're going to be taking a look at the top 15 cards in Clash Royale as of right now. I haven't made one of these in a while, but I had to because my god, what is the meta going through right now? So let's take a look at the top 15 cards that are dominating the meta right now, and it may help you create your next dank fire deck. Of course, there's going to be some balance changes in August, so I recommend you to take this information and just run and use it while you can. Also, this list is purely based on card usage, win rate, the meta, and of course, a little hint of my opinion. If you don't agree with my list, feel free to comment down below with your thoughts and even your own list. Yeah, let's get right into it. Number 1 is going to be the Graveyard. You probably didn't see this one coming, but the Royal Recruits is just shifting the meta to a weird spot. Hopefully not for long. And cards that were not being used before are being used more and more as we get closer to the public release. Luckily though, like I said, there's going to be some balance changes before that happens, so that's a good thing. But yeah, they go pretty well with the Graveyard. There are tons of decks that require like no skill at all that use the Graveyard and the Royal Recruits. So I recommend you to search some decks with the Graveyard. Number 2 is going to be the Valkyrie. There's been a lot of spam decks lately with the increased usage rate of the Skeleton Army, Guards, and Royal Recruits. The Valkyrie has seen an increase in both usage rate and win rate the past week. If you aren't using the Valkyrie and you need a riot control card, give the Valkyrie a shot. There are other options like the Bowler, Executioner, Fireball, but the Valkyrie is the one seeing an increase in numbers as of right now. And there's probably a reason why. Maybe it's just because she spins. I don't know. I'm not saying it's the best card, and it's not even close, but it's definitely better than average as of July 2018. Number 3, the Goblin Barrel. I just want to give a quick reminder that number 1 was not the best card. It's actually number 15 on this list, so yeah, just letting you know. Anyways, the Goblin Barrel. In case you've been living under a rock, all kinds of bait decks are on the rise, and it ain't stopping. The only thing you can do is just go along with it, and yeah, you're probably gonna get annoyed by me saying it, but the Royal Recruits is just the reason why. It's the truth. These guys have changed the meta drastically, and you can't deny it's the reason why certain cards are here. You drop the Royal Recruits, they go to both sides, and you can drop the Goblin Barrel on one side while your enemy defends the other. It's that simple, and sometimes it can be deadly OP. Number 4, the Inferno Dragon. This has seen an increase with usage rate and win rate ever since the new card came out, but it's also being placed in 1/5 of all decks. I honestly don't know why, because I mean, they don't like defend against these Royal Recruits very well, but I believe that they are being paired with the Royal Recruits to make an awesome deck. So you're not going to be defending against the Royal Recruits with the Inferno Dragon, you're going to be making a deck with it. The Royal Recruits are the spam part of the deck, and the Inferno Dragon will be the meat eater, or, I mean, actually, that kind of sounds wrong. You know what I mean. But yeah, anyways, the Inferno Dragon has always been in the top 15, so, you know, no surprise. It's a very powerful card, and like I always say, it's basically a flying Inferno Tower. If that isn't enough to justify itself, I don't know what will. Number 5, the Knight. With a 60% win rate at the moment, even though it's not used much in lower arenas, the Knight is a staple in leaderboard decks. You know, for its low cost and moderate tank abilities. Sometimes the Golem, the Giant, or even the Lava Hound is just too heavy, and for a medium elixir card, you know, you kind of need the Knight, not the Golem. Of course, it's not going to be as good as a heavy tank, but it costs less and it does the job very well. Number 6, the Miner. It's the same reason the Goblin Barrel is here, to be honest, but either way, I think it would have been here if the card didn't come out. The Royal Recruits just make all kinds of bait so good. I don't even want to repeat and explain why the Miner is so good with the Royal Recruits, because I'm sure you already know. But man, nothing beats bait mixed with the Royal Recruits. It's just what's currently hot, and it will remain the same for about a week or two more. Number 7, the Log. You know the Log was gonna be here. It always is. Much like the Zap, the Log is just a principle in the meta and always has been. It's cheap, it does more than enough, and it's at a great spot right now. There's no doubt that the Log is one of the best cards in the game, and it may seem a little off, like, you know, this card, the best, one of the best. No, well, yeah, the Log is simple, and that's exactly why it's so good. How many people had to learn how to use the Log? Probably no one. Everyone is a pro at using it the minute they unlock it, so it's just so simple to use. It's a very nice card. Number 8, the Skeleton Army. Yup, this card has been in previous top 15s, top 10s, and yeah, it's not as popular as it was in 2016, but obviously a card can only be at the top for so long, unless we're talking about the log or the zap. Those kind of live forever. Either way, the Skeleton Army has seen an increase in both usage and win rate the past week. I wonder why. Maybe it's because, I don't know, the Royale recruits. It's actually pretty cheap, and it's able to draw both sides of enemies to the middle to contain them. Not only that, but we also know it's a good card to take out tanks, unless it's gonna be zapped or logged, but when it doesn't, it's a very nice card to use for that purpose. Number 9 is going to be the Wizard. The Holy Afro Man is back. This card is pretty good as of the current meta. I mean, there's nothing special with this card. It's kind of like the Valkyrie where, you know, nothing special, but it's just good. I don't know. It shoots a fireball and troops go poof, and apparently that's what the meta needs right now. The meta doesn't need this card, but it's definitely helping it right now. There's just a lot of spam going on at the moment, and yeah, it kind of helps a ton. Number 10 is going to be the Goblin Gang. We just talked about hordes of troops, and thanks to the Goblin Gang, everyone is carrying Log, Zap, Witch, Valkyrie, Wizard, Baby Dragon. Yeah, even before the meta walked into a weird place, the Goblin Gang was always good due to its low cost and amount of troops. Of course, it can be taken out by a 2 elixir card, but that's not the point here. Everything can be countered with something else easily. When this card is not countered, it can do a considerable amount of damage. Just let the Goblin Gang run to your tower and you'll see. Not only that, but it's also good at defending other hordes of troops. So yeah, for the cost, you should probably consider picking it up if you need extra help. Number 11 is going to be the Giant. You know, as much as I like the Golem, I can't deny that it's not as popular as the Giant, and it never was and never will be. Except for that one time that the Giant was kind of lame, but yeah. We don't talk about that. The Giant is the most preferred tank, and it's simply due to the low cost and high HP. It's not a medium tank, it's actually a heavy tank, just not as heavy as the Golem obviously or the Lava Hound. It all just comes down to cost. You know, if you need a cheap beatdown deck, you go with the Giant and that's it. You have a great deck. Number 12 is going to be the Baby D. Yeah, the Baby D. It's good at pretty much everything and has decent HP. So no, don't worry about small troops taking out your Baby D. It's probably going to take them out first. It's a nice horde control card, and even though it's kind of slow at doing that, it does its job and it does it perfectly without even being touched by ground troops. So take it as a flying wizard. It's kind of like that. Number 13 is going to be the Zap. It wouldn't be a top 15 without the Zap card. Like, what the hell? Who doesn't use the damn Zap? It's everywhere. It was yesterday and it will be forever. The Zap is just the best bang for your buck. I feel like I say the same thing in every top card video, but the Zap retargets buildings, takes out small troops, resets troops, stun enemies, and I don't know, it's really hard to not use it. The Zap is just one of the most basic and easiest cards to use. Number 14 is going to be the Witch. With the high 60% usage rate, which is by the way more than the Log and the Zap right now, this card is also being placed in about a quarter of all decks. Ever since the buff, the Witch has been everywhere. People have been swapping out the Night Witch with just the regular Witch. It's definitely not OP, like, you know, super OP, but it's very strong right now. To be honest, if the Royale recruits never came out, the Witch would be number 15 on this list, because yeah. With that being said though, number 15 is going to be the Royale recruits. You saw this one coming. With one of the highest win rates in the game, these are pretty unstoppable right now. If anyone noticed, this is why the Royale recruits challenge was a bit difficult, because every time you didn't have them in your deck, it kind of felt like you were at a disadvantage. I don't know, I just know these are pretty OP right now, and they're probably gonna be patched before they come out. So, it's kind of sad because a lot of people didn't complete the challenge, and we don't get to use these OP troops for once. And on a side note, it has a pretty low usage rate because not many people have it, like I said. So yeah, it doesn't matter though, there's no doubt this card is OP right now, and it's kind of a big deal in the meta. As you can probably tell by this list, a lot of it is influenced by the new card. Cards are just rising out of the dead because of just one card. So guys, I think that should be it for the top 15 cards in Clash Royale at the moment. Of course, since we are getting monthly balance changes and there's probably 1 in 2 weeks from now, this will change. So, like I said, just create decks with the most powerful cards right now, and yeah, they're all very powerful, and it'll help you in ladder and challenges. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy, and also let me know what you guys think of my list. Also, feel free to comment down below your own list of what you think this list should have been. So yeah, see you guys on the next one. Peace!